responsible for photobombing more of my photos over a 3-day period than anybody I've ever seen in my life.
It's completely true. Are you guys having a good time?
Yeah.
You guys ready for some Danny Trejo?
Yeah.
A little louder?
Yeah.
Hold on a second. You guys at the back, we can't hear you, so if everybody would like to move up a little bit, we're all VIPs in this bitch today. If anybody gives you any problems, Ed Gonzalez said it was okay.
Wow, he just put that in my hand.
I just threw you under the bus, son.
All right, guys, this is how it's going to work. I am going to bring up Neil Jones. You'll recognize him from the top hat. Bring up Neil, and then he's going to bring out the man of the hour. So, ladies and gentlemen, Neil Jones.
Oh my God,
Thank you, Ed Gonzalez. You're a good man.
You're welcome, Neil.
Thank you very much. Thank everybody for coming out here for Days of the Dead. Are you all psyched for the Danny Trejo panel? You all have some questions?
Yeah.
Let's bring him out here. Danny Trejo. You need to get your own mic.
Hi, Johnny Cash.
Little large here. So I'd like to just know, like, how did you even get involved in acting in the first place?
Actually, it was an accident. I was a drug counselor, and I walked onto a movie set to help some kid that I was working with, and I ran into a guy named Eddie Bunker that I was in the penitentiary with. And Eddie asked me if I was still boxing, and I said, nah, I train. And he said, well, we need somebody to teach one of the actors how to box. And I said, what's it pay? And he said, $320 a day. And I said, how bad you want this guy beat up? He said, no, you gotta like show him how to box. So I started teaching an actor named Eric Roberts how to box for the movie Runaway Train. And the director saw that I could deal with Eric, and he hired me. European movie. And then it's funny, he's like a Russian. He kissed me on both cheeks. So I told Eddie, look, it's $350 or $320 for me teaching this guy how to box, but if me and this guy are gonna be kissing, you better give me some more money. No, he's European. Andrei Kozlowski, the director, we became really good friends. Last year I went back to Russia for his 75th anniversary, and it was like a runaway train, and it was kind of cool, and especially on his dime. Any other questions?
If you didn't get into acting, where do you think your life would be right now?
Well, I'm still a drug counselor, and I still work for Western Pacific Rehab, and I think that's what I would have been doing. I still would have just been counseling kids, and still do that.
You know, speaking of the kids, I know a lot of people look up to you, and is that important to you that you show like a lot of kids that you can get out of a bad lifestyle and make something of yourself?
Yeah, well, I think that's all our job, is to be like good examples for like younger people. Anybody that doesn't want to be a role model is probably doing something wrong. So I like trying to help kids that are in trouble. There's so much shit going against kids today anyway. Everything's just like stacked against them, from the start. So I just like trying to make a difference in somebody's life.
Yeah. Anybody in the audience would like to ask a question? Just raise your hand and I will get right to you. All right, all the way back.
Yeah, what's your favorite role that you've done? I mean, you've done so many. What is your #1 role?
Well, Machete, I would have liked that movie even if I wasn't in it. I got to be the lead in this. That was a blast. So this next one, we got everybody from Charlie Sheen to Lady Gaga. Literally everybody's in it. Mel Gibson and Amber Heard and Amber Heard. Michelle Rodriguez and Jessica Alba. We have Sofia Vergara. And, wow. When I seen the cast, I thought I died and went to heaven.
Well, when you did the fake trailer for Machete for Grindhouse, like, how long after that did you guys talk about wanting to make this into an actual film?
Well, actually, when we were doing Desperado, 20 years ago, Robert Rodriguez said, "You know what? You're perfect for this role that I got, this movie I want to do." And we started talking about it 20 years ago, and we would like add things and do things. And what are we going to do? What are we going to do? So when they did Grindhouse, him and Quentin got together. They were doing Grindhouse. They needed some fake trailers, so he said, "You know what? Let's do these fake trailers just to see. Let's do Machete." So we did it. The minute we walked out of the theater after they showed the fake trailers, everybody was like, "You got to do Machete." So. And in fact, Robert in Spy Kids, if you remember, he put Machete spy gear because we just always thought about Machete. So I'm Uncle Machete to a lot of kids.
Did you and Robert just like hit it off right away when you met?
Yeah, it's funny. I walked into his office and Robert said, "Wow, you remind me of the bad guys in my high school." I said, "I am the bad guys." He handed me a knife and said, "Here, work with this," and that was it. And then when we were in Acuña, Mexico, which is right on the border of Del Rio, Texas, and Mexico, where we were filming, my relatives came down from Texas, and I found out that Robert was my second cousin. I didn't even know him. So when my uncle said, "Hey, that's our second cousin," I said, "Okay, let's make the limo part a little longer, Robert."
Anybody here in the audience? Right here.
Oh yes, I was just wondering, I know your life went through an amazing transformation. I mean, it could have gone down here really fast and everything, but was there anything in particular that spurred you to, make a change in your life?
Yeah, the last 5 years I did in prison. this ain't working, So I kind of dedicated my life to helping other people, and it just seemed to work out really good. And everything good that has ever happened to me has happened as a direct result of helping someone else. Everything. If I wouldn't have went down to hang out with that kid, on that movie set, I wouldn't be here today. I never thought about being an actor. And the minute I wanted to say something real profound. The minute I saw my first check, I went, "Damn! Shit, I'll be an actor." I was lucky enough to have I was funny. I was just going from movie to movie to movie. In 1985, the movie Runaway Train, I did that. And then these people kept asking me, "Hey, do you want to do this? Do you want to do that?" I've been in every prison movie from 1985 to 1990. Funny, I was inmate number one. I thought that was my career. I'm inmate number one. And I just kept, inmate number one, bad guy. I never had a name, bad guy, number one. Tattooed guy, mean Mexican, number one. So it's funny, I remember the first time I got interviewed, young Chicana lady, fresh out of college, you could tell she was just like, La Raza. I remember her trying to say, "Mr. Trejo, aren't you afraid of being typecast?" And I said, "As what?" She said, "Well, you're always playing the mean Chicano dude with tattoos." And I said, "I am the mean Chicano." Somebody finally got it right. I'd say I've just been doing it ever since.
Along those lines, what would you say, for you, your first role that you had that you thought, people really started to notice you? As not just, mean Mexican number one.
I think I did a movie called Blood In, Blood Out in '91.
Very underrated film.
Yeah, and I think that one just kind of blew everything up, and then after that, it just kept on going. Con Air, Desperado, a whole bunch of different movies, but I think the knife guy in Desperado kind of pushed it over the top.
Yeah. Now, Blood In and Blood Out and American Me, they're about the same real person, I believe, but they're told different. Do you know any story about the real people?
Well, I knew them all. I mean, they were all in prison with me, Blood In, Blood Out did a lot better than American Me. American Me, people got really angry at. And, you know, Blood In, Blood Out, we like kind of just made a joke about the whole thing. You can't like, if you're gonna do a movie about certain people, well, you gotta be careful to get the truth, you know. And so some of the stuff that Edward did wasn't real. So the people that he was doing it about got pretty angry. So they went into hiding for quite a while.
Audience here. Right here.
I was just wondering, your documentary Champion, how you got involved in that and what that process was like. I mean, obviously you went to a lot of places that brought up memories and went through a lot while it was being made. And I was just wondering how you got involved and what that process was like.
Well, you know what, they were doing a documentary on Latino actors. And they went through about 3 of them, 4 of them, you know, and you know, it's basically, you know, I was 7 years old and I saw Gone with the Wind and I decided to be an actor and I went to college. And when it got to me, I said, well, you know, I grew up and smoked weed when I was 8 and my uncle turned me on to heroin when I was 12 and I went to juvenile hall and wait a minute. And when did you start acting? I started acting until I was 37 years old. And so they just like threw all that other stuff away and did a biography on me. You know? Sorry, guys. It's so funny. I love actors that always like. They always try to like tell me, yeah, well, I grew up on the streets. And I tell them, yeah, but Broadway's 2 shows a night don't count. So Hollywood wants people that can act tough. Don't want tough guys. It's just like, so I decided, wait, I don't be a tough guy. I want to be an actor, you know.
Do you have any run-ins with actors who were trying to be a tough guy with you?
No. Just pull them aside and say, look, I won't only beat you up, I'll go beat your dry cleaner.
The audience here? The way in the back, with the mask.
Why do you like acting?
Well, you know, like I've been all over the world with this career, and I don't think I can make, you know, the kind of money I do doing anything. I didn't do it dealing drugs, and armed robbery was a bust. You know? I made more money. In fact, the first movie I did, The Runaway Train, the government took out more money than I ever made in a robbery. So I thought, wait, this is like, you got to do this, you know. So I became an actor.
When you're talking about, you know, playing small roles in movies, and eventually, you know, later in life, you're starring in a big budget machete. What was that like for you?
First of all, there are no small roles. No small roles. I mean, any role you get in a movie, you got to figure, you know, there's probably 55 to 60 people that try out for that. So I don't care what it is. I don't care. You know, if you're an extra, I want to be the best extra I can be. You know. So I bring my A game no matter what. You know,
don't hit.
You know, whatever it is. You know what I mean? And I watch people that do that. I watch people that have their day players. They only got one day and they walk, but they're like into it. Yeah, that's it. You know, I mean, I see extras the same thing. That's the way to do it because it's not just, you know, it's like a character actor. Well, Leonardo DiCaprio's a character actor. He's a pretty boy. That's his character. You know? We're all just character actors. I don't care how big a star you are. It's like you couldn't do it by yourself. You know, that looks stupid. Be doing it in a movie. Machete would have looked stupid. Doing it by myself. You know, so even the guy's head who I chopped off had to like do good. So it's like collaboration. That was,
I think so.
you know, and it's like so. I love making a movie. It's a whole chaotic thing that comes together, and at the end, you got a pretty good movie. I just got. I don't know what I got. They gave me something about the Academy. I got nominated. Anyway, I'm going to the Academy of Motion Pictures.
Yeah. Were you recently inducted into a Hall of Fame?
Yeah, Texas Hall of Fame. But I got nominated. I got accepted into the Academy of Arts and Sciences.
Nice.
I don't know what that means.
Do you have a story behind your famous tattoo?
Yeah. That was a guy did that tattoo named Harry Super Jew Ross. We were in San Quentin, and it was his first tattoo, so we did the outline. And then I got kicked out of San Quentin, and they sent me to Folsom, and another prison, and it was like a scene out of a West Side Story, because I was in the bus in chains, and Harry was on the dock, you know, and he was screaming, "Don't let anybody touch it! I'll go to Folsom." And about 6 months, he came into Folsom, and he did a little more, and then there was a big riot in Folsom. They said he was Soledad, and he showed up in Soledad. We finished it in Soledad, and it was his first tattoo. So, you know, he became a really good, famous tattoo artist. So we hated this tattoo. His first drawing, and then he'd get better. You don't say it made him famous, you know. And so he passed away, and there's a big article about me in one of them biker magazines somewhere. He was a biker. But that's the story on the tattoo. It took from 1965 to 1967.
Wow.
When you're getting a tattoo in prison, do they have regular tattoo equipment?
No.
Thread. You know what, the machines, they didn't come out until like the 70s in the penitentiary. Everything else was just stab and poke and needles and India ink and ink made out of anything.
Monopoly pieces.
Just to make, huh?
Monopoly pieces.
Yeah. Checkers. Well, we want some red. Okay, here, melt the red ones.
Yeah.
Have you gotten any tattoos since you've been out?
One on my back, a guy named Mark Mahoney, Shamrock Tattoo in Los Angeles on Sunset. Really good. Everybody great. It's like one of the best in the world for portraits. So he did a portrait of my 3 kids and Jesus on Venice Beach.
Was your tattoo name the most famous tattoo of all time?
In the world. Wow.
Wow.
Take that, Harry.
Question in the audience? Right here.
Was it a big switch to do TV from movies?
No, TV's a lot faster, but that's all. You know, TV's a lot faster, and they're pretty serious about their stuff. You know, I show up, and you know, I'll know my line. It's funny when you talk about TV because I mean, I was doing movies, big movies and stuff, and my mom didn't even think I had a job. That's not my mom's like, go to work. I know you. We go get a job. Robert De Niro. I know, get a job. Stop by the house. I'll make you lunch. I did 4 episodes of The Young and the Restless, and you would have thought I won an Oscar. I walked into my mom's house, and all her little friends were going, "Oh, we made it! We saw it! My God!" Oh, so that was my big day. 4 episodes of The Young and the Restless.
Speaking of TV, though, I have to say Alpha 2 goes probably the most memorable death scene I've ever seen.
Somebody brought I was at one Comic-Con somewhere, and somebody brought this huge turtle and asked me if I hold it. Like, yeah.
I actually had a question about that. How exactly did they do the head model?
They They do a bust of your head. It's with that kind of foamy stuff.
Plaster.
You put straws in your nose so you can breathe, and then they take it off. And I mean, great bust. I have one at home.
What'd you buy with your first big paycheck?
God, man, I bought, what was it? I can't remember. Autobot. My son, there was one of those, what you call it, just came out. Those
Transformers.
Yeah, we had one about this big. Or something. You know, that's all I remember. I mean, what a damn toy's $400. My old man will beat my ass with that.
Another question here? In the gray shirt.
You just did an episode of Marin. You had a really great scene at the end of that with the family.
Yeah.
How did you come up with that? How did you come up? Because that was the whole point of the episode, that last scene with the pinata.
Yeah, you know what? I showed up and they showed me the script. I just loved it. Man. This is cool. This is awesome, man. So, and he is funny. That guy is funny. So we just did this whole thing, and that last scene was kind of really, wow, I got to act really like it. It was kind of cool.
What was the one here yet?
What was it like playing Frank Vega?
Wow, that was I got a lot of friends that are Vietnam vets, and a lot of guys who were kind of forgotten and stuff. So that was the kind of cool. I like that. I really like playing that. And Badass 2 is coming out in October, I think. I had a bunch of movies coming out in October. Like Badass 2, I got Dead in Tombstone, which is a cowboy. It's funny, we gotta go all the way to Romania to make a Western cowboy.
Do you have a role or a scene that you think is really shows you at your most badass?
I think in Badass, kicking the shit out of a couple of people. It's kind of a lot of fun.
Did anyone get mad that they changed, because Badass is based off a YouTube clip and they changed a lot of that? Was there any backlash for that?
No, because when we did it, the guy that actually happened to, he suffers from post-traumatic stress syndrome. So it's hard to do a character that's rambling, and good guy and everything, but so we had to change it and make it kind of to where this guy could be your next door neighbor if you wouldn't mind it.
Another question here? Right there.
You've had the pleasure of working everything from a major badass role to a comedy, quick in there. Is there any actors that you really like to work with?
God, I've worked with all of them. They're all cool. I've worked with so many good actors, and I've been blessed. It's funny because I did Heat with Robert De Niro, and we got along really good. And then when we asked him to be in Machete, I met him. I'll never forget it. We met on the set, right? He goes, "You, hey, you number one." Leading role. I looked him right in the eye and said, "Can I get some coffee, Mr. De Niro?" Nice guy, wonderful. Him and my kid, him and Gilbert, my son Gilbert, is doing a film right now in Milwaukee called Snapshot, and they got funded through Kickstarter, which I think is a great idea. And so they're doing this Snapshot, and him and Robert De Niro became really good friends. Because I was going to dinner with Robert De Niro one night, and I was taking my son and my daughter. He was about 18 then, and I said, "Look, I'm going to dinner with Robert De Niro. You guys don't be kids, just sit, just be cool, all right? Don't embarrass me." All right, Dad. So we go to sit down with Robert. First damn question he asked is something about some French director. He asked me, "What do you think of that French director that blah, blah, blah?" No Mexican directors. You know? My son knew, he was great, but the rest of the night was spent because Robert De Niro is a student of film. So is my son. So the rest of the night was spent them two talking and me playing on my phone.
So way back there in the white shirt. Yeah.
Alright, what's your favorite video game, and do you plan on making any doing any voices for any other future video
What's my favorite video game?
Yeah.
Black Ops. When I did, I just wanted, there was another one called Fallout Los Angeles. I just, you know, I don't really play them, I never have time, but I sure love doing them. You know, I remember a long time ago we did one about, I forgot. I know I was mad at the Haitians.
Your kids play the video games and you voice?
Yeah, some of them, but you know, it's like my son's kind of, like I said, he's a director, you know what I mean? It's like, and producing a film, so you know, you kind of like outgrow that stage. I don't know when I'd have time to sit down in front of a TV and start playing a video game. I'm always working.
Yeah, definitely. Let's see. Right there? Yeah.
With all your action scenes you've done, did you ever, like, seriously get hurt and think twice, like, is this really worth it? Did anything ever happen to you physically?
No, I'm one of the actors that believes stunt guys should work. I'm sorry, man. I walk on a movie set, and then, you know, it's like, you've got a lot of actors that say, you know, I do my own stunts and all that. And the reality is, your insurance companies won't let you. I mean, and it's really sad to think that just because I want to say I got big nuts, I'm going to do this stunt and risk everybody's job. You know, if I would have got hurt on Machete, well, literally, all work stopped. So I'm blowing 300 people's jobs. So all the actors are talking about doing their own stunts and telling they're full of shit.
Do you have like a regular double or regular stunt?
Yeah, I got a couple of them. I got this guy named Norm Mora, and he's God, man, he looks like. And every time Robert Rodriguez, especially, he'll say, "Danny, we want you to put a mustache on Norm." You know. So he keeps his mustache exactly like mine.
See, right here.
I know you usually always play the badass in all your movies, most of them, but like in Halloween, how was it having kind of the role reversed with Tyler, you know, and you were kind of assistant in that?
It's so funny because when we first shot Halloween, at first they didn't kill me. You know, nobody wanted them to kill me, and so I wrapped and went to New York and do another film. And when the big wigs watched it, screened it, they said, you know, none of us wanted him to kill TREJO. And so it kind of gave Michael Myers, what do you call it, a redeeming quality. You know what I mean? And they said, so what, he killed all the girls and the family, but he didn't kill me because I was says, we gotta kill TREJO. So, Rob Zombie called me up, TREJO, I got some good news and bad news. I said, well, give me the good news first. The good news is, we got a kid. Bad news is your agent's gonna hold us up. They had to do a whole new contract. So I had him by the, just by the short hair. I really like Rob, he's really cool. He just did the same price as me. Boy, but did he kill me? Go ahead.
Would you like to be in Expendables 3?
Would you like to be in Expendables 3?
A lot of the Expendables don't want me around them because they use steroids and I don't. When I go like, hey, natural.
Look back here. Right there.
Yeah, what was your first ever movie role, and did you have a hard time getting the part?
No, the first movie role I did was for Runaway Train, and that happened by accident. You know, I just showed up, and I started training Eric Roberts, and they asked me to be in a movie. And that was the first one, and after that, it's just, you know.
Came natural.
Yeah, playing inmate number 1 wasn't that hard.
You're right next to him.
Hey, what is it like working with Rob Zombie?
Rob's awesome. Rob is like the coolest, you know, you know how, I don't know, there used to be a program called Happy Days. And there was Alfonso-relli. Alfonso was like supposed to be like the cool, that's like Rob Zombie. He's like just the cool, real hard dude. He's just really cool. And it's funny, because we were doing I went to one of his shows in LA. He was having a show. We're sitting there right backstage, right on the side. And the stage manager comes out and says, "Okay, get ready, you guys, get ready." And so they're getting ready to go on. So they're like, it's all pumped up. And then the stage manager comes back and says, and so they're ready to go. Wait, we gotta wait about 5 minutes because, so everybody like just kind of blew it. And Rob's wife says, "Oh, this isn't good." And you tell Rob was like, because you just get all pumped up, ready to go, and then they're saying, "Wait a minute." So she pushed me out and said, "Do something." So all of a sudden I'm in the middle of the stage and I'm like, I took off my shirt. Everybody just started screaming, so then it's like, they gave me the light, and I said, "Hey, Rob Zombie!" And he comes up, "What'd you do?" Got naked.
All right.
Are there any experiences you've had being in movies where you just look at the set and you're listening what the director's telling you to do, and you're just like, "This movie sucks"?
Well, no. You know what? Because it takes like a lot, like to get a movie together, and a lot of people are kind of like investing and banking on you and stuff. So it's really not up to me. Because you can see a movie, and then the way they edit it, it's like completely different. It's like, whoa, you know, it comes out really amazing. So, and from where I came from to where I'm at, I've kind of lost the right to even get mad. I don't know if anybody can understand that. But it's like, from where I come from, you know, we were in Miami. And it was hot. It was smoking. And it was like, 112 and 112% humidity, where you're like breathing water. And I could swear these people had gills. And everybody's complaining and whining, and and I'm standing there at I was going to say the district attorney. The director came up and said, "You all right, Trejo?" "Yeah." "What's wrong?" "Is he okay?" I said, "I'm all right." Said, "Well, how are you staying cool?" I pointed to him, and there's like 5 guys on a roof down, and they're like pounding nails. I'm not doing that. I said, "Watch this." And I went like that, this little girl comes running with an umbrella. Come on now, and I got to complain about it. So you gotta like look at it like, I'm so blessed just to even be here, and just to be able to sign in autographs for people that like me, So, wow, what a great.
If you could handpick any actor to be the villain in Machete Kills Again, who would it be?
Machete Kills Again in space. Well, Mel Gibson's going to be in it, that's for sure, because he's Boz, the bad guy in this one, and Charlie Sheen's the president. The villain, wow. We got great villains. So there's an actor named Damien Brashear, and he's out of Mexico. He's an unbelievable actor. When you see Machete, check how he chews the olive. It's like, I blew the scene because he he was like talking to me. And I went, damn, that was good. Cut, TREJO. I'm sorry. Strasberg didn't teach that shit. So he's really, really good, you know. So I don't know. It's like Robert has a way of casting people that. I mean, we cast Steven Seagal in the last one, you know, to be the villain. You know, wow, that was a switch, and I got to kill him.
Are you the only person to kill Seagal on screen?
Yeah. And the only person to be in all three from Dusk to Dawns, and I was also the only actor to kill Steven Seagal. That's the first one.
Against the wall.
Sticking with Dusk Till Dawn, what was it like with Salma Hayek's snake scene in there?
Wow.
You know what? When, next time you watch that, and you see her pour that wine over her leg, and Quentin's licking it, and you watch everybody in the audience are going.
What's Cheech like?
He's a riot. Cheech is a riot, but I've been with Cheech, and he's always up. You know, he's cool, and he's funny. I mean, he's just naturally funny. So, a lot of fun. And what's really funny is like, I mean, he literally started like he made a generation smoking weed. You know, they blame him, you know, 60s, yeah, we still him. Yeah, he did it.
There's a great question way back there. Yeah, the girl first. Yeah.
In Machete, whose idea was it to bungee jump from intestines?
Wait, what?
All time.
Oh, that was funny when I read that in the script. I said, what? Yeah, no, really. So, you know, it's like, that was like unbelievable. I mean, that's talked about all over the world. So. Robert always does something, you know, in Machete Kills, this next one, God, it makes that stuff look like kindergarten. So over the top.
Does Charlie Sheen play
the president of the United States? And Charlie Sheen is such a great actor. There's a part in it where he asked Machete to go kill the bad guys for him, and Machete says, yeah, they ain't done nothing to me, I don't want to do it. And he jumps up and says, I'm the president of the United States, damn it! You know, like, but the way he said it, you could almost see their big ships going, da, 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 da. Jets flying over. And like, he's an amazing actor, man. And I even told him, wow, he's playing a good president. He says, oh yeah, my dad was president. His dad was president of what? South Wing, or something. The West Wing.
You in the back there? Yeah.
Any plans for part 4 from Dusk Till Dawn?
Robert Rodriguez has just got a new TV network. It's called El Rey. You can look it up. And our first television series is going to be From Dusk to Dawn. Because I remember talking to him about it, and he says, no, From Dusk to Dawn is going to be our first one, and then I think Machete is going to be a second one, TV series. He says, but I says, well, wait a minute. I was in From Dusk to Dawn, and everything starts in the bar, and I'm the bartender. Yeah, I think it's going to be cool. So I got a TV series coming.
So I want to know, how were you approached by Jack Schroeder to do the movie The Hidden?
You know what? Jack saw me on the beach. I was working out in Venice Beach and came up and said, hey, I got this movie, man. It's a little role, blah, 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 blah. I don't ever believe in a little role. And I remember him saying, when they were shooting me in that, he said, Daniel, just before you say something, you know, that you would say it. So I ended up, all I could think of was, I'm going to get shot by an alien, right? So yo, hippie, what kind of dude are you? And then he blows me away, right? Well, after that, for about 3 years, all I heard from was, yo, hippie! So, you know, things become memorable.
Audience here? There you go.
You love working with kids. Is there any works in a lot of kids' movies coming up?
Well, you know, we're going to do something in the range of Spy Kids. You know, we can't. I mean, I've heard, look, Mommy, the guy from Spy Kids in 40 different languages all over the world, and kids love that. And I think, like a babysitter will put on #1, you know, Spy Kids, and then Spy Kids 2, and so they're just watching. You know, and so these generations keep coming up. There's Spy Kids is a movie that has no time. You know, it's just kids, you know, winning. And so I think we're going to go with some other kind of Spy Kid movie.
So with all these movies you're doing, what are you doing in any downtime that you have? What do you like doing?
I got some old cars that I like messing with. Yeah, I got a 1936 Dodge Touring sedan. There's like only 5 of them, but it's just like beautiful. And I got a 1942 Chevy Stylemaster, which is real rare because they stopped making them in 42 because of the war. And I got a 52 Chevy pickup. I got a beautiful 76 Cadillac Seville. Cherry, it's like beautiful. I love pulling up somewhere beautiful. Oh my God. And then I hit the switch. Mexican! Gotta lower it! But people just like love that car. And then I hit the switch and ruin everything.
Does Danny Trejo text?
No. You know what's so funny? That line came up for reals. It's like, because I was trying to get a hold of Robert. We were at Comic-Con. And I was trying to get a hold of him. He wouldn't answer me. Call him. So finally I ran in. Robert, I've been trying to call you. And he said, Danny, there's 1,000 people, man. He's like, you know what? Text me. My chat that don't text.
What was your most interesting moment filming Sons of Anarchy?
You know what? Hanging out with that cast, Charlie, the guy that plays Jax, and Theo. They're just a sweet kid. They're really good kids. Really nice guys. And the Jax, he's going to be the next Leonardo DiCaprio. He's going to be a monster. And it just hasn't gone to his head. He's a sweetheart. And Theo's great. And Ron's a good friend of mine. That whole cast, you know, they're all like just good friends. It's funny, they some of them had to learn how to ride bikes. You know, they're not like you know, they come off like hardcore bikers, but they're just like really nice guys. You know? Not that bikers aren't nice, but I know aren't nice.
Did you watch the show before you got the role?
No, I'd never seen it. I'd never seen it. And then everybody was talking about it, and then they asked me to go on and, yeah, I'll watch it now.
What's your favorite movie?
You know, I gotta say, it's like, you know, Machete, I would have loved that movie if I wasn't in it. And it was like so much fun. And I think that's probably one of my favorite movies. And that one, Blood In, Blood Out. And The Searchers with John Wayne.
We're at a horror movie convention. What would be your favorite horror movie?
From Dusk to Dawn. I think From Dusk to Dawn 1, 2, and 3. 2 and 3. Robert calls me up and says, Danny, we're going to do From Dusk to Dawn 2 and 3, and we're going to go to Cape Town, South Africa. I said, why? Where? What? I didn't know where Cape Town was. Yeah, we're going to shoot out there because I guess they've got this huge tax bank over there for a while. And I thought, boy, I fell in love with Cape Town. It's beautiful. So that's what we were filming 2 and 3 was Cape Town, South Africa.
Do you have any future work planned with Rob Zombie?
We're doing something. Robin called me a while back and said we were going to do something. I said, okay, let's put it together. He's got a, you know, like Robert Rodriguez has an automatic yes at the agency as Rob Zombie does too. You know, so it's, yeah, we'll just find the time, or, you know, we'll do it.
Rob Zombie usually likes to use people in films that he liked in another role.
Yeah.
Was there one specific role that he really liked with you? Or just
Rob,
you in general?
it's funny, Rob just liked, we just got along, me and Rob just got along, it was great. And it's funny because the way I got into Halloween, we were at some kind of award show and somebody had mentioned, hey, Rob's doing Halloween, I'm being interviewed, so Rob's doing Halloween. And I see him, like he was over there being interviewed, and I went, hey, Rob! I better be at Halloween! So I ended up the guy that was taking care of him.
Excellent.
I produced a movie called Animal Factory with Steve Buscemi and Willem Dafoe. And I was doing Con Air and I was working with Steve Buscemi and I handed him the script and I was just joking. I said, Steve, read this or I'll kill you. Steve was a little, what is a big prison movie, right? He's a little weird, he's okay. So then when one time he was being interviewed, they asked him, how did you get involved in animal? Well, Danny Trejo gave me the script and said if I didn't read it, he'd kill me. What'd you do? I read it. He really liked it. He said, wow, I like this, but there's really nothing for me in it. I said, yeah, we want you to direct it. So he directed the movie called Animal Factory. It came out real good movie.
Was there one right here?
Yeah, I was wondering if you had any stories or memories of filming Blood In, Blood Out. Like any fond memories?
Yeah, Blood In, Blood Out was like so much fun. And like old homie, me and a friend of mine, George Perry. The first time he went to San Quentin was 1935. And I met him in 62. And we kind of like became, he was like older, we just became friends. And the guys that did Blood In, Blood Out, they were all like real trained thespians, you know, I mean like for real guys. They did plays in Shakespeare. They were always talking about Shakespeare. And I'd be like, yeah. Did you ever do this play? I said, no, hell no, plays don't pay. And so, they didn't shun me, but they kind of like didn't accept me as like a real thespian, right? And then we get to San Quentin State Prison, where I had been before. And there is a wall of like 5,000 inmates right here. And we're walking like this. And all of a sudden, all these guys start screaming, like, Trejo, hey, bitch, rah, rah, rah. Who's the little blonde behind you? And they're all yelling about, whoa, move him into my cell. And all of a sudden, I had these thespians being my friend. George kept saying, ask him where Shakespeare is now. So I just think it was funny, you know, because like prison is like, you know, just a cesspool of society. Wow, all of a sudden you're like, you know, you're either predator or prey. You know? And if you didn't grow up in that genre, you're just prey. You know? And so, and they realized it. And then they all of a sudden came in. We had to wear these vests. We had to wear these bright orange vests, all the actors did. And so me and George, being in prison, we put them on, right? Other actors, this is really destroying my character, you know. So, I said, Trejo, why don't you explain to them what the vest is for? Well, in case anything happens, they won't shoot somebody in the vest. All of a sudden, you see all the actors tying the vest on.
Always back.
I was wondering if you ever speak at prisons now, and also how you feel we can keep kids out of gangs, and if, sorry, third part, if you ever try to, on the sets you work on, have troubled kids or past prisoners work on the productions.
I speak at high schools, at juvenile halls, at youth authorities, prisons, every chance I get. And I seem to have when you're talking to kids, it's really hard because, first of all, you have to get their attention, and that's impossible because they have no attention. And and then you gotta like show them you're cool, and that's impossible because if you're more than 10 years older than them, you're just lame, man. And then you have to deliver your message. Well, the blessing of being in the movies is that I have their attention the minute I walk onto campus. And not so much Danny Trejo, but the guy from Spy Kids, the guy from Con Air, the guy from Heat, the guy from Desperado. That guy's got their attention. And whoa, that dude. And I've had teachers tell me, you know, the kids that don't come to these assemblies right here, and they want to hear what those guys have to say. And my message is, you know, education is the key to anything you want to do. And drugs and alcohol, all that's going to happen is your life will get worse. No matter what problem you have, drugs, alcohol make it worse. Stay clean, it gets better. So it's real simple, but I seem to have a pretty good record with kids. Any other questions?
Yeah, who's your favorite female lead? Jessica Alba, Michelle Rodriguez, or Amber Heard?
I had a love scene with Amber Heard in Machete Kills, and Robert Rodriguez said, okay, action! Action! Amber, why are you laughing? Because Danny won't stop saying, thank you, Jesus, thank you. You know what, they're all gorgeous and fine and fun. I kissed Jessica Alba and Machete, and then my three friends, Mario, Max, and Craig, were trying to kiss me.
Do you have a favorite line from any of your films?
It's funny. I love the line in From Dusk to Dawn. This bar is for bikers and truckers only. I hear it every club. I have been to some of the really unbelievable, you know, hoity-toity nightclubs, and some bartender will go, "This bar is for bikers and truckers." And Machete don't text. That's real famous.
Well, I'm Neil Jones from WithoutYourHead.com, and let's hear it for Danny Trejo.
Yeah!